Hey you, so on this video, gold, silver, BTC, Rant, Rave review, I'm going to be going over just all three that I just mentioned there, three of the main things that I'm invested in, and just give my rants and raves and my reviews on them and my current position on them. So before we get into this, I would like to say if you haven't done so already and you like what you hear/see, please do go ahead and subscribe. So I've got some high premium silver coins that I purchased them back in the day that I'll be displaying here. A couple I haven't seen since they was put away, so it'll be interesting to see if they've got any melt spots. I believe this one here had a melt spot, so we'll see how this is going. I'll see if I can eventually get this out of the case. And these 5-ounce kooks at some point or were extremely hot. You know, prime example, best thing since sliced bread, had to get involved in them. These were a continuation of a coin that was blazing. I believe it's this one here, the 2016. And wouldn't say I got burnt on these, but definitely didn't go on to do as good as I would have wanted. So going to be very interesting to see. Well, I would say I'm in a position where it doesn't really make a difference whether these are blazing hot or not. Have I lost money? No. Until they're really poo-pooed, I would say no. I reckon I could sell them for a price paid. Everything apart minus the one down below, more than likely. But they definitely can't be sold or liquidated fast for a profit. So definitely, I'm not too sure on the situation on the Peter Rabbits, but as gimmicky or licenses may do, or maybe, I believe I could sell these a lot faster than any of the other ones. So yeah, getting into BTC at time of release of this video, I wanted to put out there and just find out what anybody's opinion was with a question I'm putting out there myself, and that is mentioning the three things I just mentioned. So you have silver, so this is the 5-ounce high relief piece. You have silver, you have gold, and you have BTC. I would say, what do you believe is going to be the first to appreciate? First to crash and then go on to its true potential? I'm not sure if I put that question out there before, and I say that because it's the main reason why I'm involved in all of them. You know, with BTC, I know a lot of people, and that's Bitcoin, I know a lot of people in the stacking community, it's the, you know, the one whose name we shall not mention, totally against it because they believe it's a Ponzi scheme. I've mentioned before, I think fear is, and we're all invested in that, but it has the faith of the people. But I'm invested in BTC, got involved in BTC because I could most definitely see scam or not opportunities to make profits in there. And I believe that's a game that you could technically class as an investment, and it's ripe for a cowboy like myself, as with a lot of markets are, you know, virtual markets. So this is why I'm involved in BTC. It wasn't something I publicly put out there when I initially got in. I've had fantastic returns off of it. I continue to gamble in it, but I'll put out here now, I don't have faith in it. You know, I don't have faith in it in that I would put large amounts for the long term. I think it's one of those things, most definitely has opportunities in between. And you could eat, that's easy. I view it just like the stock market. Until it goes bust, you know, boom, it'll make many a millionaire easily, hands down. And I believe the same for the crypto market. And that's my views. I don't have faith in it, and that I would put everything I own or even high percentages and go long. I know a lot of people do that with the stock market. For me, one, and this is the ranting and the raving part and reviewing all in one, that's gold. You know, purely gold holds that position. But, you know, as of current, I see at time of releasing this video, we're getting a bit of action there. And that was always going to be the case that I believed. You know, if it was going to be gold, silver, or Bitcoin, where would we see action first? Where would we see the biggest crash in terms of percentage? Where would we see the biggest gains? And what had the more potential to be, you know, the next one to blow in 2020? And this is why I'm involved in it. All profits I make from my BTC go to my gold. Same goes for silver. You know, I've been doing a lot of trades in silver that I've done on video from the 2-ounce lunar sets and a lot of other stuff, swans and the likes of that. When the trades were done, the proceeds went into gold. You know, that's how I acquired all of the 5-ounce gold kangaroo pieces when I done the large trade. I got 3 of those, and I done another trade where I got the 2-ounce gold pieces. So for a long time now, I've been transitioning and putting a lot of the profits and even converting into gold. Why? Because that's why I see the long term. That's where I'll have no issues holding. That's where I believe, you know, I think, and I see even with gold, BTC and silver, I view them the same-ish, even though silver has a longer history, hands down. But, you know, you can have a situation where you're somewhere on the planet, you know, not from where you're originally from, and you're trying to buy a plot of land, for instance, in some foreign land, and you're trying to convince, you know, the owner that you have, I don't know, 50 BTC. Although it has a fantastic history out there, it's all about who's paying attention. A lot of people could say it's for new money, you know, and you'd have to be under a rock to not know what it is, but to convince somebody of its wealth. And that's the problem I see with gold and silver. I believe we'd run into the same problem. You'd have to do a lot of self-teaching and then self-educating somebody, putting the education on them, I believe, with silver also to convince them that it's of wealth. Even if it's past gold today. You know, it could be headline news, which it wouldn't be. It's just teaching someone to try and rewire their brains into believing that silver is now worth more than gold. Whereas with gold, I believe you can pull out some gold pieces and automatically anybody on the planet knows that's what true wealth is. So this is where I want to leave the inheritance. This is where I want the majority of the wealth dumping in the end of the day. Through being involved in a lot of markets in the luxury goods world, you run into problems when it's time to liquidate. And it's problems that can arise through maintenance, condition, and just, you know, little things that dealers can tweak and twerk to swindle you out of some funds. But when you're talking, for me, governmented bullion, it's straightforward. It's pretty straightforward regarding what the spot price is, not so much condition, and it's liquidated, no issues. And this is why I personally chose gold to go for the long haul for myself and cut it out from there. No BS, hand that down to the loved ones, you know, and have a lot more. So it's all transitioning into gold in the long run. But right now, we have BTC doing big things. It's going back on one of its pump brigades, you know, it's really jumping and pumping and dumping up. Got this piece here. We can get this out and have a butchers at this. So I picked up a few of these, I believe. It's going to be very interesting to see condition-wise how this is looking. And, you know, BTC is doing its thing right now. I've got a little invested there. I've got more so invested in altcoins, but obviously with the altcoins, it's more of a longer play. But I do also believe that once they come into their own, it'll be converted into BTC. For the long run, as explained, I would have no problems holding, you know, under 10 BTC, regardless of what the price is. I've got a lot in at the moment, but, you know, 10 at its maximum price or its all-time high is a lot of money. I'm talking 10, half of what the current price is. I'm just going off a gauge like that. But, you know, long term, I don't intend to hold it for the long. I intend to make money off of it. I intend to play the market. And I have, you know, as much faith as in it currently where it is right now. But for the long, I don't want to be involved in something like that for the long, and also for the silver. I think the current markets at the moment, when we're talking gold and silver, it's very... I do believe we've got a big crash coming. Once again, I think that's just a buying opportunity. It's not nothing that I believe somebody should be scared about. If you're stacking and you want to purchase, I think this isn't off no charts or anything like that. I just believe the market is just so stale. Once again, I think things that could have or should have happened, this is just the way that I analyze the market, haven't happened. And looking at the current climate, there's a lot going on at the moment, and we haven't seen nothing. You know, we had the whole Brexit situation go through, and it just didn't even wobble, you know, just a small shake. It's another piece here. I believe this piece was on fire at one point. But, you know, these are still stunning pieces. We've got some milk on this one, as mentioned. You know, it's a bit of a shame, but the 5 ounce from Perth high relief pieces. So, you know, a lot of people that say Perth Mint doesn't milk spot. Here you go. I believe all mints milk spot, but I think Perth go that extra mile encapsulating all their goods, so that, you know, that's that extra step alone goes to prove, you know, goes to show that, you know, just that extra little step can go a long way in terms of preserving the quality. But Perth Mint stuff most definitely does milk spot, but nowhere on the scale that something like Royal Mint, who are currently top now. Royal Canadian Mint, I believe, have this mint shield that isn't 100% guaranteed, but they've addressed the problem. So, you know, nowhere in the scale that a lot of these other mints do. Shout out to Germanium Mint, that's producing horrible quality coins. You know, you're scaring off a lot of your loyal customers, I'm seeing, with your stuff spotting up. But, you know, no mint safe. Every mint is guilty. So, you know, definitely one of the problems. Will this prevent me from getting maximum when the time comes? More than likely, it'll just have to be a big chunk of 5 ounce silver that's sold as, you know, a piece that has a couple of defects. You get this a lot of the times, a lot of the milking on this side there, so around the rim, the outer rim, we're going to be seeing some heavy milking. But that really is what it is. But I've also been asked a few questions on the time of release, the current release of the Royal Mint coins. I was just speaking on them. They've just released the 2020 Britannia releases. So what do I think of them? The first thing that came to thought when I saw them was they do have low mintages, but I wouldn't play on that and work on that as a massive selling point. And, you know, next I've been asked, what do I think about the platinum? I believe it was the quarter ounce platinum. You know, people are coining that as the coin, and is that the one? Should they be picking it up? The way I see the... First off, with the Royal Mint, they've gone for this new, you could call it a jerk or whatever it is. The design, it's a nice design. You know, I wouldn't say it's bad. I've seen a lot worse. I would say, was it the 2017, that radical look? One of them just looked a bit like, oh, out there. The one with the Britannia's incorporated into the island. I think that was the one that I just said, nah, that's terrible. But the others have been very decent. I'd say the only, I don't really nitpick like that. I'd say she's got a long neck on her, you know, the 2020 design. But, you know, who doesn't love a lady with good neck, you know? So that's the only thing I would pull out. But I think the design's nice. It's a good design. Them going with this whole low mint jerk, I think, and they really highlight, but they've been highlighting that on a range of their coins. If you pay attention to all of their releases, a lot of their coins now will say lower mintage than the last year, a lot of the sovereigns. I think with the whole platinum thing, I've personally not seen any of the Roman platinum coins do well, future-wise or in the past. So if you take a coin with no demand and you give it a low mintage, oh, do we have some spots there? I'm not too sure. Can you guys see that? Around this area. So you take a coin with no demand and you give it low mintage, you just have a coin with low demand with no mintage. That's how I see it. I've not seen any play with the quarter ounce platinum coins. I think with the Britannias is always going to be the case. It has to be a blazing hot design. But what is a blazing hot design? What makes a coin a blazing hot design? I understand in the past they've had the designs. I know a lot of people say the 2014 is the you know, the top of the tree, but I've been told that when that came out, it didn't exactly sell out automatically, and dealers were putting the coins on sale. I think sometimes in a situation like that, it can be appreciated once the rest of the designs ain't as good. But who knows? Can this be one that people come back for and, you know, shoot price up in the long run? I personally don't believe so. I don't think it has those qualities. I would have saw 2014 for being blazing hot at the time of release, so, you know, I wasn't around then stacking or paying attention. But as said, you know, what makes a coin hot? All the same people that are going to buy this coin and lock them up are going to lock them up. So, you know, there's many flippers out there that ain't on YouTube with many cowboys, because these coins get swallowed up. Are they by, you know, happy collectors? Are they found happy homes? I think, as always, when I say this, true hardcore collectors that collect these things, you know, keep the data rates, the date runs going, are very happy with these. You know, they've got them, they've secured them. But for people that want to maybe purchase them, see them, appreciate, and go on to maybe flip them, it's a chance that they take. And am I willing, or should you take the chance? It's all down to the individual. But I personally feel like the quarter ounce platinum coin is just another gimmick from the mint. You know, they've gone for this whole low mintage thing. It doesn't mean if it's a massive hit they'll produce more. I think they just always need to sell out, and they're doing great jobs at that. It helps them with these low mintages. Will the coins go on to, you know, find some demand and then make these truly low mintages shoot through the roofs at later dates? Who knows? But I don't think this coin has that quality personally. That's my views on the piece. Would I have picked any up? No. You know, Britannia's, once again, you really have to get the design down. I can't remember what year it was. It was one of the years where it was just the face as the design. I thought it had a lot of potential, but it just didn't go on to do fantastic things. It's another piece I purchased some time ago. It was just one of those things. As I was getting in, I was just picking up pieces, had a bit of hype behind them. You know, at the time it was the first dome coin, and yada 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 as we take a look at that. But, you know, let's see where that goes. As for platinum, it's not something I'm picking up in collector coin format unless it's a blazing hot coin. In Europe, to the best of my knowledge, we haven't really seen nothing that fits that, you know, pedigree at the moment. I know in the US you've had the Eagles that have gone on to do fantastic things. So, you know, I would say if you like it, pick it up. But if I think it's going to go on to do fantastic things, I personally haven't picked up the coin, or wouldn't pick up the coin, because I don't think there's nothing special there. Have to see what the special date sovereigns come to offer, but I think it'll be the same thing. You know, design's going to play a massive thing. If it's a massive blazing hot design, I think with these low mintages can go on to do great things. If it's a design that just, you know, gets the hype train going crazy, these low mintages can be a payday for many. You know, I think with the Engraver series, the situation there was that it was based off a coin that's done phenomenal on the secondary market, a very old coin. So that could have been a hit. Are they remixing? You know, is this the era of the remix now? Will they go back and remix massive hits? Who knows? But guys, that's the end of the Rant Rave review on gold, silver, Bitcoin. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. What do you think is going to crash next? BTC spot price, silver spot price, gold spot price, precious metal spot price, or what do you think is going to really see some true gains in 2020? Is it going to be cryptos, gold and silver? Please do let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments. So please do go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you guys on the rebound.